What up, guys? It's getting dark out here. Trying to get a little better with the sound quality and all that. I'm using a mic today, so I'm hoping that you can hear me, and I'm hoping that it's nice and clear. But thank you guys for checking out the Vault 500. It's Wednesday. It's Wisdom Wednesday, and I have a couple of things to talk about. Right now. The first thing I want to talk about is look, check this out. Think Like ChatGPT. That's my book that I wrote, and it's not a technology book, even though it's called Think Like ChatGPT. It's not a tech book. What it is a lot of times as people, what happens is we get a little bit lazy, and we always run to Google. We always run to ChatGPT, and what I wanted to do with my book here, Think Like ChatGPT, I wanted to kind of get us to stop running to Google and running to ChatGPT when we have an issue or we have a problem. Sometimes we need to figure those things out on our own. But before I even get into that, I want to just thank you guys because Friday I took a couple of days off, and Friday I had almost 400 people on here. I think it was like 375, something like that, which is crazy. I've only been streaming for like 2 months, and to have almost 400 people on here is really cool. It shows that a lot of people are coming back, they're checking. When I first started the Vault 500, I wasn't really sure how people would, if people would be interested in business, my life creating a business, me talking about different types of businesses and different types of successful people, especially, and this is kind of a new platform right now when it comes to vertical live on YouTube. So I didn't really know, whoa, if people would be interested in it. You know what I mean? So I appreciate you guys for tuning in. And like I said, on Friday, we had almost like 375 people in here, something like that. So I appreciate it. And yeah, so, but yeah, so back to what I was talking about with Think Like Chat, uh, my book, think my book, Think Like Chat GPT is, it's not a tech book. I'm a tech guy, but it's not a tech book. It's the reason why I wrote it was because one day I was thinking about something, and I went and I googled it, and then I said, you know what? I didn't really have to Google that. I could have just thought about it myself and just solved the problem. And then another day I was sitting and I was like, you know what? Let me try to. I said I had an issue, and then I went to ChatGPT, and then I chat GB. I don't know what do we say? ChatGPT'd it, and I was like, you know what? I didn't really have to do that. I could have really just sat and kind of solved the issue myself, just using my brain. So that's what Think Like ChatGPT. That's my book that I wrote. It's like stop being lazy type of thing and really use your mind on your own and kind of figure things out on your own. And if you really need to use an outside source like Google or ChatGPT, then use it. But also, we can make ourselves better people, better thinkers if we think more like ChatGPT, right? Like, for example, in the first chapter of my book, Think Like ChatGPT, right? That's what we're talking about right now. I talk about asking better questions. A lot of times when you're a kid, you're growing up, you ask really good questions. You know what I mean? And that's how we learn. And as we get older, we just become lazy, a little bit lazy. Well, me, I did, and I'm not really asking as many questions as I should, right? Like, AI is taking over now, we could be asking the question like, okay, what jobs are being affected by this? Is my job being affected? How will my kids be affected by AI? Like, there's a lot of questions that people aren't really asking, and that's what I talk about in the first chapter. Is just asking better questions and thinking like ChatGPT. Like, if you go to ChatGPT and you enter in uh, something that ChatGPT is not sure about, it's gonna break it down into smaller things. It's gonna make it say, okay, I don't fully understand this, but let's break it down. Let's break it down into different categories, right? So we can do that type of stuff ourselves. We don't have to run to Google. We don't have to run to ChatGPT. So that's what my book is about. Think like ChatGPT is just learning how to think better ourselves and just trying to use ChatGPT and the lessons that we're learning from ChatGPT to make ourselves better, right? So it's not a tech book, So if you're thinking that I'm a tech guy, but it's not a tech book. It's more of a self-help book, and it's just teaching us how to think better, right? So think like ChatGPT. That's my book, and this is Wisdom Wednesday. It's the Vault 500, day 40, right? So I appreciate you guys. Um, Once again, and I do have a business feature today, and it's a young lady by the name of Courtney Adeleye. Hopefully, I'm saying her name right and I'm not messing it up. But yeah, Courtney Adeleye. She's the founder of The Main Choice. It's a beauty brand, multi-million-dollar beauty brand that she started, and she was a YouTuber, right? So she started posting videos of different brands on YouTube, and her fans started asking her like, okay, we want to buy this stuff. We want to buy the stuff that you're showing on your YouTube channel. So what happened was she she started creating her own brand, and she started mixing her own brand in with the products that she was showcasing for major companies, right? So who is Courtney Adeleye? Hopefully, I'm saying her name right. Forgive me if I'm saying her name wrong. Like I said, when I do the research on these people, I don't know them. I do not. I never heard of this woman before. Before I did the research, so I'm learning along with you guys about their business and about the things that they did to create their businesses. So if I'm saying her name wrong, I'm sorry. All right. Courtney Adeleye, founder of The Main Choice. From kitchen chemist to beauty mogul. Now, she built a multi-million-dollar business, natural hair care brand from scratch. Her own hair, uh, from her own hair problem sharing on YouTube, her brand built authenticity results. Started mixing hair products in her kitchen, built a loyal audience, scaled to major retail shelves, sold on Main Choice. Okay, so it's getting dark out here. I'm on my terrace, show. All right, so this goes back to what I've always been saying since day one, how people, they recognize an issue and then they try to solve that issue. So her thing was, people started asking her, "Hey, we want to buy your products that you're talking about." And she was like, "Well, I guess you have these affiliate links and you can do that and whatever." But she started making her own products. So she said, "Wait a second, if people are asking me and telling me that they want to buy this stuff, maybe they'll buy my stuff." So she started mixing her own stuff in there. She started making the products in her kitchen and she was selling it. So she's now that goes back to what we've each entrepreneur that I have featured on the show, they always find something that's missing. They find a problem and then they solve that problem with their business. So her problem was she didn't have the products to sell the people that wanted them. So she solved that problem by creating her own products. So instead of doing like an affiliate thing where she would probably make like 25 cents off of each sale, she decided to create her own brand. And when she sells, now she's making a bigger profit off of what she's selling. You know what I mean? So if she's selling a lipstick pack or whatever, a skincare, she's making $4 or $5 off of it as opposed to making 25 cents, right? So she scaled it in that way. So she started selling on her own. All right. Um, so she started her company on YouTube. Uh, she started posting other people's products, and then she started posting her own products and talking about them and selling them through her YouTube channel. And then she scaled it to a $90 million company. And she ended up selling it. Um, Net sales 24 million, cash 29 million. So she ended up selling it for millions of dollars. And it was something that she scaled from YouTube. And let's see, let's get into an article. Uh, when Courtney Adele sold her company, which reached 100 million in sales, 60,000 retail doors in 6 years. 2019 for 61 million, she was young enough to track down the entrepreneur path again. She told herself, I'll take a step back now. And she is a former nurse. She started a beauty and wellness platform, Albali. Hopefully, I'm saying that right, which reached 2.5 million in sales by 2024. And information. So, all right. So a lot of times when people, it's getting dark out here. A lot of times when people they start a company and then they sell it, they usually just chill out. But she decided to keep going, and she started a new company, and now that company has $2 million in sales, right? So okay, let's keep going. Where does your love of beauty come from? My love of beauty has always been there. I'm from Michigan, Detroit, known for hair capital among cities. Went deeper as I started to further my education in science and knowing. Um, what do we eat? The vitamins. What are we concerned about? I went on YouTube and found there was a whole world of people who had the same interests as I did. That's where I started building the community. My platform was talking about our struggles. What were you posting on YouTube? I started posting products I liked, and it transitioned to mixing my own products. At that time of mixing my products, I still did not have a desire to start a hair care brand. It was more or less there's nothing on the market that I want to use on my hair, so I'm going to start making it myself. Now, that's important because, like I said, many times every entrepreneur recognizes something that's missing, so they use their brand to compensate for what's missing, right? So it's getting dark out here, and I like to be out here with the natural light, y'all. So um, all right. So thanks, guys, man. I'm gonna have to cut today off early because it's getting dark out here, and I'm in New York. I'm on my terrace. I'm outside. I like the natural light. Um, so I'm gonna cut it off a little bit early. I appreciate all you guys for tapping in. Again, we were talking about Courtney Adele. I'm gonna be on early tomorrow, maybe around 5 o'clock tomorrow. All right. So we'll have some, more to talk about tomorrow. But I appreciate you guys for tapping in. Oh, wait. Let me give her the proper outro. Right. Show respect. Today we talked about entrepreneur Courtney Adeleye. She started her own hair care products, and she started on YouTube. and she added her own products in, and she ended up selling her company for $90 million or something like that. Don't quote me on that because I'm not really sure. But thank you guys, the Vault 500 Day 40, um, and we appreciate it, man. And definitely check out my book, Think Like ChatGPT. It's not a tech book; it's just a book on how we can just, instead of running to Google and running to ChatGPT, we can kind of just think better for ourselves and make our lives better. Just making better decisions, asking better questions, and stuff like that. So, thank you guys for tuning in. I'll be back tomorrow, hopefully around 5 o'clock. Again, thank you for Friday. Almost 400 people was on here, and I really didn't, when I, like I said, when I started, I really didn't know, or really didn't think people would be that interested in learning about business and stuff like that. That's what I love to talk about, and I read a lot of books about business, and I'm also I teach business. I teach tech online, so I'm glad you guys are interested, and I'm looking forward to being getting the 500. Man, today's day 40, and it's definitely a milestone for me. Again, I'm still new to streaming. I've only been streaming for about 2 months, so I appreciate you guys, and I'll be back tomorrow. Hopefully, definitely way before 8 o'clock because it's almost 8 o'clock right now, or it is 8 o'clock and it's getting dark. But I appreciate you guys. The Vault 500, Day 40. I'll be back tomorrow. It's King, and I'm out.